ICM 135th Halftrack ambulance with figures. Part 7, figures, diorama and finishing this project. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you all, and if you're new here, welcome. So, I'm going to start with the figures. The base coated in white. They're really nice sculpts on these, really crisp details, and yeah, they really are very nice figures, nice poses, and they all fit together in a natural scene, which is nice. So that's the 4 of them. You can see the detail there, see how crisp it is on his bandaged hand. Really nice facial features. So I started with all their clothes, their uniforms, and just gave them a base coat in AK 3rd Gen Field Grey base number 2. It's quite a dark field grey colour, but it's the only one I had. Couple of thin layers just to get really good coverage. I'm using my homemade wet palette, which if you want to know how I made that, let me know in the comments and I'll put together a little video. It's very easy. It's really just a container, some wet paper towel and some greaseproof paper, but it does work really well. So yeah, give them all a nice good coating with that, and then we'll work on some highlights. Once that base coat has got a good covering and is dry, I just added just a touch of pastel green from Vallejo into the original colour, just to give the first stage of highlights, and then I go around all the raised surfaces and pretty much the whole model, apart from the deep recesses, just for this. And this is just like a really thin glaze. Just trying to lighten it up. So second stage of highlighting, just a touch more pastel green into the previous mix. This is the beauty of a wet palette, really. All the paint you've ever used stays good, so you can just keep adding to it and keep the same consistency. So here I'm just going over a slightly smaller area than before, and just really raising the highlights to the highest part of the clothing, concentrating on those corners, and yeah, all the raised parts. Same again here, just touch more pastel green into the previous mix, and it's really is just very small amounts now, just on the really tops of the pockets, and the bits that really stick out, the edge of his tunic. It's really coming together now. You can really see how they're working well. to the final one now. More pastel green into the previous mix. You can see how bright that makes them. Now I don't think that the original colour was too dark. It's perhaps a bit blue, but it's not too bad. So there you go, the uniform looks pretty good. Right, moving on to the boots. I painted these in AK 3rd Gen Smoke Black. I don't like using pure black for anything, just like I don't like using pure white for anything. If you do, you've got no way of getting shadows or highlights. So I painted his single boot in this. The other boot has been taken off and discarded to make way for his bandage and splint. Painted his boots and all the belts and webbing from all the other figures. And again, nice, good couple of coats just to make it a nice covering. I do go over it afterwards with MIG's Wet Effects, which is just like a gloss varnish, just to give it a bit of shine afterwards. Right, now I'm not a very good painter of faces, I'm afraid, so bear with me on this one. They're base coated in Iraqi sand, which I appear to have used for lots of different things in this build. Again, nice good covering. I tried to give him a bit of a washed out sort of feel, as if he's injured. So the highlights with him had a bit of sky grey in it. Thankfully, all the other characters in this piece are sort of looking towards the ground, so you can't really see their faces that much. But again, nice good covering, and then we'll come back to it. So after that was done, I went on and did all the other details, so his bandages and his hair and his insignia. And then while I was doing that, I did the other figures as well. I think they all came up okay, I'd say, apart from the skin tone isn't quite right. I do address that a bit off camera with some shadows, but you can see they've really come to life now. Obviously the helmets I've done separately. The glass bottle I've again coated with wet effects just to make it look like glass. Right, onto the diorama. So the base is made from a couple of pieces of insulation foam just put together, and then I've gone over it with AK acrylic mud, and then I've had this sat on my desk for ages. This is sand with tiny bits of cork in it to represent stones and rocks. So I'm going to sprinkle that all over the base, and it gives a nice realistic effect of the desert, I guess. The stones tend to congregate around the edges, and once they're painted they look really quite realistic. So I'll just go sprinkle that all over in situ, and then I'll come back in and glue that in a minute. So once that's all where you want it, I've come in, I've got a sports bottle, sports water bottle that's just got some PVA glue and some water in it. There it is. It's been on my desk for ages. It lasts. It doesn't go off. So it's always handy to have around. And the sports bottle just allows you to put drops where you want it, really. So coat the base in that, and just make sure that it's all had some contact with the glue. And you see I really soak it in it. This will probably take 24 hours to dry. You see I'm being quite generous with it. And it looks a bit of a mess, but it should come right. Also in my collection I had just the cork on its own without the sand. So I've sprinkled that around at the base of the cliff, just to show any rock falls, that sort of thing. A bit on the top, and then you can't really see it in here, but there is a dip towards the camera as well, so I fill that bit as well. Okay, so 24 hours later, once the glue had dried, I gave everything a good spray with a black primer, just so we get a nice uniform base coat. And then the painting can begin. So I'm airbrushing American Tan Brown, just as a representation of the sand. I mean, this took ages and lots of paint, but it worked quite well. I then did some highlights and just some variations with pale sand, sand yellow. Okay, now the madness begins. I've got to paint all the rocks. So again, use my wet palette, just a variety of greys, browns and sand colours, and just pick out the individual rocks. It takes ages, but it's quite therapeutic. And you can also find all the rocks that haven't quite stuck down properly. Keep it random, and yeah, just work your way through. Okay, nearly there now, just the last couple to do. I think it's come together really nicely. And there you go, that's what it looks like. It looks quite natural, quite realistic. I think it's worked well. Right, let's put it all together. I'm using Ammo Ultra glue for this, just because it gives you a little bit of working time. And it does give it a really good bond. So there he is, the injured soldier. He's going to take up obviously the forefront of the piece. He's got his head on his little straw pillow. and then it's really just getting all the other people in their right positions and touching. So there's the second chap. He's holding the injured leg, so I've got to get his hand under his foot and glued in place. Not quite there. That's where I want him. Right, the third chap, he's just got a little sponge that he's just dabbing the bandage with, I guess. So he goes in quite nicely. And then finally is the final chap who's holding his arm and administering a drip. This was probably the hardest one to get in, because he's got to grab hold of his arm and kneel upright as well. And you can see how, there he is. Is that it? No, he fell over. A bit more glue required, I think. Have another go. See how delicate that is. There was quite a nice gap between his hand and the arm, so once all the glue had dried, I managed to get a piece of easy line rigging in to act as the tube for the drip from the bottle to his arm. So yeah, that's all the figures in place. Just let that dry, and then we'll get the tank in. So there you go, that's it for this one. Oh, you want to do some photos, do you? Okay, here we go. Hope you enjoy these, there's quite a few. So there you go, guys, that's the end of this series. There's one person I want to thank, and that's the person who suggested I put some bloody stain on the stretcher. I think that really helped. Thanks for watching. The next one, we're staying with German. I think we're going cold, and we're going interesting subject, and something I'm going to have a bit of fun with. So I hope you can join me for that. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss any parts. And I'll see you next time. Bye.